Well, day-to-day, I focus on a couple of different things. So one area is the protection of our customers and our platform. So I work very strongly with our engineering teams to ensure that we're building appropriate products that take customer safety into account. And then pay attention to our corporate networks, ensuring that those are secure, and then work with our security business unit on defining security products that would be of interest to the market. Well, I think you started out with what a lot of the secret sauce is, which is that massive scale. Being in 1,500 locations with a network of 120,000 servers that are distributing, upwards of 10 terabits per second, you have this just ability to absorb attacks that would otherwise, cripple an infrastructure. If you think back to the old, sit-ins that people would do, you show up in a bank and everybody would sit in the headquarters and shut down the bank. That doesn't work these days because banks are all run through ATMs.
Sure.
And if you showed up at an ATM and tried to sit in front of it and block people from using it, they'll walk across the street. There's another ATM.
Exactly.
And so that's how our infrastructure really operates. And then using the fact that we see 30% of all web traffic, we can do analytics and correlation across our customer base to provide better protection.
And then when we talk about the protection, certainly, the DDoS, you can absorb that kind of stuff. But what about, user authentication, role-based attack where somebody's trying to get a piece of information as opposed to a disruption of service? What sort of controls, challenges, and risks are involved in that? And I know that's a multi-headed question with lots of questions.
It's a big question. So we provide a web application firewall at the edge.
Sure.
And the idea there is, adversaries are clearly moving up the stack, so provide defense as close to the adversary as we can. Now, obviously, if somebody has already compromised someone's credentials, web application firewall isn't going to be the right solution for it. But you can look at things like geographical-based targeting, other analytics to look at where content should be going. We do integrate with our customers there, but that's not an area we're really playing in yet.
Now, for the analytics across 120,000 servers and all the log file and data, how do you manage that? I'm assuming there's some kind of big data back end, whatever that is, Oracle, Hadoop, or otherwise, but what are you using to aggregate and figure all that out?
There's a couple of different big data backends. So one of them that we use, we built ourselves, is a real-time telemetry monitoring system that's aggregating telemetry, out at the edge and then bringing it back in. So it's a distributed write, centralized read database that we built ourselves.
Distributed write, centralized read. So that's a slave master, MySQL, massive scale with memcached?
Similar to that, but it's completely home built. So we call it Query because we have very, very original when it comes to names. But what it really lets us do is let each server continuously write data in, and then the aggregation nodes will prune out old data and put in new data. That gives us real-time visibility to what's going on around our network. And then we ship logs around inside the infrastructure into our own billing clusters, which do reporting and splicing and publishing that data for our customers.
And then, in a traditional enterprise data center, I'd have some kind of SIM kind of system and, dashboards. I would assume in your office you've got, 4 or 5 screens, but what are on those screens? Is there some kind of centralized dashboard where you can see security, health, incidents, issues?
There's a couple of different ones. So in fact, there's one that can be seen downstairs at our demo today.
I'll go see that then.
That'll show sort of what a customer view looks like. So I get a view of that both for any given customer as well as for Akamai whole. And then we have just a lot of JP graph views into our existing data to look for interesting anomalies.
A lot of challenges. You've got 120,000 servers, so there's a big data challenge. There's customers. There's your management telling you this, that, whatever. And I know you've got a new CEO now. What's your biggest challenge as CISO? Is it just operational excellence, or is it something else?
I think there's a lot of different challenges. One of the challenges of being a service provider is that oftentimes you have customers who really like a legacy service that has security issues that you'd like to move them off of it. Right now it's a contractual issue. You have to move them slowly and gradually. So it's not like being a software provider where you can just ship a patch and it's up to other people to implement it. You actually have to do the implementations for them as well.